my battle buddy, Sergeant Leon. He was a good friend of mine. We were very close. Sergeant Leon and I would spend countless hours just watching fights together and having a few beers, you know, when we were in the rear. And Sergeant Leon had just gotten back from his second deployment to Iraq, and he was self-medicating. He was drinking a lot, and you know, muster, he didn't show up to muster one morning, and you know, we really struggled with addressing PTSD in the military. You know, it was something that we didn't really consciously look for a name for it. We just kind of said, suck it up and move on. And a lot of us drank, you know. It was just, that was the common thing. You couldn't go to a battalion for help. You know, you couldn't go see a battalion psychiatric staff member, because it's just, we've had that happen a few times, and Marines were getting admin sept. You know, the clause failure to adapt was a common label, and you'd get out and you wouldn't have any support. So you didn't go there, and you certainly, I mean, being in the military, you don't go to a civilian therapist. I mean, everything is taken and contained within the military. So when the source is, you know, insufficient, and it risks your livelihood, especially having a family, you don't do that. You know, you drink, and you sit in the barracks and you drink, and you get loud and obnoxious, and you hang out with other Marines who are feeling the same thing, but nobody talks about it. So Leon decided he had enough, and he took his own life. We found him in the barracks the morning of. He didn't show up for muster, and we got BEQ to go up into his room and open the door, and there he was. He'd hanged himself, and it really didn't occur to me that that would have been a sign of PTSD at the time, but it was the nature of his suicide that really shook things up for me. And it was, he had a drinking problem, and I'd assumed that once NCIS came in and did the investigation that they would find alcohol in his blood, you know, some trace, and there was nothing. He did it stone cold sober, you know. Then it started me off on the path of, you know, what is PTSD, and how deep does that rabbit hole go? And just started collecting answers from there, and it really pointed me in finding out what was already in existence, what was there to treat PTSD, and how was that working. And then I started looking for alternatives.